What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to test drive a 2020 Civic Si. This one's a 4-door. It's in a lovely shade of blue, and overall fit and finish feels great. Clutch pedal's the lightest thing I've probably ever pushed, and let's go take it for a spin and see how we feel about the car. Really easy to get the car moving. Clutch is incredibly light, as stated. Let's hop out here. Wow, so much rev hang. Wow, that's immediately annoying. Ooh, it's got a brake hold. That's neat. Kind of nice for a manual. The amount of rev hang that I just experienced there is very excessive. I understand that that's done for fuel economy, but it takes a lot of fun out of driving a manual transmission car. So the shift knob feels great. Shifter, the throws are not short, but they're not horrible. 6-speed manual. Turbo. This one's got a lot more punch out of the hole than the kind of Honda cars I grew up driving. It's not easy to rev match with all the rev hang that this engine has. But when it comes on to boost, it's either, so this road's 50, we're going about 50. And when it comes on to boost, it seems like it's still wanting to spin the tires, or the clutch is slippy. This car has 18 miles on it. It's got the cool right turn camera that I think is a really neat feature. I'll see if I can't capture that here in a second. But basically, when you turn your turn signal on to go right, the screen pops up a image coming from the right mirror pointed at the ground, kind of rear wheels ground area, so you don't curb your wheels. It's a neat feature. At rev hang though, that's just an immediate bummer. It's really smooth. All right, so we looped through this neighborhood so that I can pull out into traffic and without coming from like a dead stop, I can be in like second gear and kind of just get in the gas so we can see where it starts to build power, to try and better understand how much of a usable rev range the engine has. This one redlines, I want to say at like 7, which again is very not Honda, at least not classic Honda. All right, so here we are in second gear at like 1500 RPMs, and we're gonna get on it. It comes in pretty good at about 3000 RPMs. You can feel the turbo starts to catch on. And once turbo comes on, it did come on pretty strong. Tires wanted to spin. It's chilly out today. It may be 50 degrees out, so the road's not super warm. And, you know, the car runs good. I still, every time go to shift, am baffled by how long the revs hang out up top. I don't know if that's something that like a lightened flywheel would really make a big difference with, because I know that that is in the tuning on modern cars. So if the engine is tuned to hang like that, I suppose it's possible that you could fix that by tuning it out. But even when I shift slow, the RPMs still don't come down to where they would be once they're in the next gear. So as soon as you let the clutch back out in your next gear, the RPMs are jump down to where they're supposed to be, which baffles my mind. Like, it's really annoying, I gotta be honest. The car sounds good though. The clutch, I'm pretty sure the clutch is slipping on this car too. Which also kind of boggles my mind. Cool, there's a little brightness button on top of the screen here. So if you're, you know, in a dark country road, you can jump to half bright or off with the click of a button instead of having to like dig through settings to get the screen to not be so bright in your face. Also nice feature. I really like how notchy and crisp the shifter feel is. I mean, it pops into gear, and once it's in gear, there's very, very little play. Gonna have to do some reading about the clutch. I'm fairly certain that the clutch on this vehicle slips, which, you know, maybe is because it's still being broken in, and that's also why we're not getting on it. But, you know, even when I don't get on it hard, like right there, I mean, I'm going 45 and it was about 3,000 RPMs and the clutch started slipping. So that is disheartening immediately. Last weekend was in Austin, Texas, checking out some stuff, and went and rented this Porsche Boxster, 2006 Boxster off Turo, and the clutch slipped incredibly bad. The gentleman handled it okay. He gave us a fairly sizable discount on the rental and said, you know, if it gets worse, let me know. Disappointing that we couldn't enjoy the car, but I'm having deja vu right now, as this clutch seems to, for sure, be letting go as well. So I guess we just get to mosey around in this one too. You know, get to experience it on some level, I suppose. I really wish I could put into words the way the shifter feels. It's really, really good. I mean, I'm in neutral right now, and there is resistance in every direction inside of a millimeter of play. So like the shifter has no free play. It's very firmly sitting in place, and when you put it in gear, you have that same feeling. Once it pops past the notch, it feels extremely tight there too. A short throw shifter on this setup would feel really good. And, you know, all things considered, as long as the clutch isn't destroyed on this car, which it's brand new, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. I'll have to ask him, because the clutch in this car is making me uncomfortable. So we can't really drive it with any sort of sportiness. I mean, but for the clutch to be slipping like it is, that's incredibly disheartening. I mean, I'm at 2,000 RPMs right now, and as soon as the turbo comes on at about 25, again, I was going 45, roughly second gear, not roughly, I was 45, third gear, roughly 2,000 RPMs, and the clutch starts to slip almost immediately. So I don't know that this would be my first choice of a car at this price point. It's got nice new features. Oh, the rev hang is horrible. And the clutch. We're we're gonna stop up here and do a little bit of quick reading about this. Uncomfortable. You know, overall, the steering's a little slow, and when you steer, the whole body kind of sways. This is the 4-door, so I don't know. I believe the wheelbase is probably a little bit longer than the 2-door would be. We'll stop up here in a sec, and I'm gonna hop out and I'll grab some shots of the vehicle, as well as do a quick read on the clutch. Incredibly hard to shift it with the weird rev hang. Alright, so we're gonna head back. After a brief Google search, it seems like clutch problems on this latest Civic Si might be a real problem. There was quite a few posts about brand new Civic Si. Clutch is dead at 10 miles. Clutch is dead at, I think the other one was like 2,500 miles, and Honda didn't want anything to do with taking care of it because the clutch is a wear item, which totally, but dude, the car's brand new. There's no way. So the one guy even said on his test drive, he spoke with the salesman that was riding with him and said, hey, this clutch doesn't feel right. And the gentleman informed him that it was turbo lag. I don't know how you would confuse the two, but that was the stated cause of what he was feeling. And if it's a situation where the manual transmissions in these brand new cars can't be trusted, it tends me towards an older car again with a significantly more simple system that you know, is straightforward and not reliant on computers and or other things to keep the parts working right. Overall, I really think it's a cool car. I don't think I would recommend buying one. All right, parting thoughts after driving the vehicle. The clutch is for sure not right, but maybe it's a situation where the techs have to adjust the clutch after it comes in, or it doesn't sound right to me. I'm gonna do some reading about it, but what I can tell you is I would definitely not buy that car, that one in particular. And even if it was intentionally doing that, so meaning even if it wasn't defective, I still don't think I would buy a car that does that. There is no feel coming from the drivetrain, because when you stomp on the gas, it just spins the clutch. So uncomfortable deja vu to the Porsche last weekend. Disappointing, but anyway, it was an experience. Maybe I'll go test drive another one and see if it feels better. We'll see. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.